Hello. Hi. I'm just going to wait to see how many people enter and turn down my TV because I don't want to hear me. How's everyone doing? Let me just pull the chat up. How has everyone's Christmas been? Did you catch our first episode back of the podcast? It was on the bus. Bear with me. Hello to anyone new. I'm just pulling the chat up now. That sounded a bit southern, northern even. Pulling the chat up now. Should have done this before. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of nervous. I've only done one episode without Lindsay on my own. One of them, thankfully, the lovely Sedge joined me, and it was nowhere near as nerve-wracking. But we'll go into that. We have the opportunity to look more into that. I thought I'd be able to pull the chat up on here. There we go. Okay, so we've got the chat there, and that's all I need. I will stick you down there. Okay, without further ado, before this gets any more boring, strange, what are you here for? Yeah. I'm in a strange setup today. I'm not in the usual studio, nor am I in the new studio that I say I'm doing upstairs. I have not done half of much of the cleaning and the sorting. There's basically about 6 bags of washing. And if that doesn't tell you I'm ADHD, I don't know what does. So if you're here, thanks for joining. If you don't know who we are, if you don't watch the normal podcast and you're wondering, why does she keep saying we? Normally I have someone with me. She sits on this side. And that's Lindsay. Lindsay is the founder of A Different Human Design. She created it in 2022 to provide advocacy, support, and information to neurodivergent individuals and their families, because we were realizing that there is a serious gap in care for people accessing the NHS and public services. Fundings have been cut, and after so long, people are starting to realize through new information about ADHD and autism and various other neurodivergent conditions and diagnoses that more people are understanding that they have these, they're relating to them more, and they're mad that they didn't know these things sooner, because it would have changed the trajectory of their life, if you like. At least that's how it feels. I know I can relate to that. And so being able to get that information out there, that care, that support, in a time when it's very much needed and very much not there. So that's the aim of A Different Human Design, is to show you, like, look, you're a little bit different, and that's great. The world has othered you. Society has made you feel like you're not part of them. And we realize that the longer that you spend in that kind of society without realizing, the more that you mask, the more that you put this persona to the world rather than the real you, because you've been taught so much that the real you needs to be dumbed down, do better, isn't enough, is strange, is weird, is boring, is not interesting, is creepy. Yeah, I've had so many people. I mean, all you have to do is go on the comment section on social media and you can see people still put this stigma around mental health and autism, even ADHD, to the point where people are spreading misinformation. And I think throughout life we realize that these elements of capitalism, again, I'm not going to go on too much about that because we're going to be here all year, Monday, Wednesday, every lunchtime. I've got time to talk about my hate of capitalism. But without sounding like a crazy nut, there really is this underlying scam in the world in every area that is just trying to make money off the general public, off the working class. And it becomes more apparent every single day. And I think it's important that we highlight the misinformation, we question the news that we're given, but we also trust people that have studied these things, scientists, people that have been in the field, rather than government elected, if you like, or the average person in a comment section. I think the world is so confusing as it is, and now we've got these new ways of accessing every bit of information around the world. And one thing about the neurodivergent brain is we like novelty. So if it's boring information, we probably aren't going to be into it. If it's exciting and a little bit weird, then we could believe that because we know we're a little bit different, we're a little bit weird, and we exist and we're real. And so many people have denied our existence. So why isn't that conspiracy real? It's very easy for us to open our minds to these things. And I'm not saying the conspiracy isn't there. I'm saying the conspiracy that a lot of us are led to believe is in favor of the scam, is helping the scam to carry on. But that is the scam of life. That is just one part of the world, one part of this confusing world that we get to untangle in this weekly clinic. And, oh, you guys are in the chats. I thought I was just chilling on my own. What are we saying? Hey, just passing by, skipping through streams, and everything you said is correct. Oh, thank you very much. High functioning autism or ASD. I didn't get a diagnosis until I was 24. Wow, or 27, now 35. That's a long time of life, right? To be going through, and you really think it's a you problem. You really think, what is wrong with me? For so long, you don't realize that the you you're trying to get through life is severely disabled. And I don't mean that in a condescending, negative way. I mean the world that we have is not geared up for us from the moment we hit school. So finding out later in life, I'd like to think that 24, 27, you're still quite young. I was 21. And I was so mad. I'm still mad. I'm very mad. But this is what fuels my passion for really trying to help people now. So well done for getting your diagnosis. Missed out on so much, you said. Helping, yes, I agree, it can and will definitely change the trajectories of life later as opposed to earlier diagnosis and help. Also, I love conspiracy talk. I love conspiracy theory talk. You need to come back and see Lindsay. She is, we talk about all conspiracies. I'm a little less of a believer. Nonetheless, I enjoy them. I think they're really fun to unpack. But yeah, this idea of how much it could change in your life, right? If you knew earlier, if our parents knew earlier, they could adopt this nurturing, accepting. Because if your kid is acting in a different way to the neurotypical child, our parents were given so many instructions and advice that would have inherently gone against our development, you know, making us conform, How many kids do we know today that are getting diagnosed with autism in young primary school years? And they're saying, I'm not really clocking it at school because they act perfectly. You know, they sit still, they listen, they aren't talkative, they mind their own business. And it's not really highlighted that when they get home, everything just erupts. Their whole emotion just like it's been compressed all day, and they've been unable to explode, to express any of these feelings by masking and being made to conform into these certain little boxes that school children have to do: sit there, stay still, don't talk. And as adults, we wouldn't want to be treated like that. We definitely wouldn't want to go to a workplace where we're made to shut up, not say anything, sit there, go to the toilet when you've got permission. All these things are very strange. So when they finally get home, they're with company that they trust, that they feel safe, and it all just blows up. Matthew, understood. I knew I thought about things differently for others when I was a kid. How common is that when you think differently as you think differently as other kids, and you just want to fit in so much the actions of others, 100%. I was good at acting, so do you know what? I fully agree. I relate to you so hard. I did the same thing. I went through groups after groups after groups, thinking if I was just cool, if I could just fit into this, you know, there was like common patterns in the people that were popular. They were pretty, they were good at certain things, people liked them. I'm like, if I could just get these three things, then my life will be perfect. And we do these things that go against our authentic self. And we do them for so long that you forget who you truly are. On Wednesday, I want to be talking about our authentic self and how we unmask. Because a different human design, we truly mean that if we just champion the different in us and accept it, we can literally take over the world. We're unstoppable. Selena says, hello. Hello, Selena. What a beautiful name. Matthew's saying it was difficult to recognize the signs with me, sort of worked against myself without knowing, right? It definitely does yourself a disservice. And not once did a teacher, a doctor, a psychotherapist even question me with like, how am I being my authentic self? It took for me to go to university to learn to be a counselor, to learn what my authentic self even meant. We need to learn these things. I believe, anyway. Selena, it's only me. I don't care. Bye, I'm leaving. Bye, girl. Have a lovely day. The internet. I love that girl. Carry on. So yeah, basically the target of these lunchtime streams is to offer access to mental health services and wellbeing services. I am here to answer your questions in the chat. I hope I'm doing that well enough. And throughout that, we can talk about things in life. If at any point I don't know the answer, I want you to know from me to you, my promise, that I will never put my ego or my need to look competent or impressive as a therapist before my audience's safety. If I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. And I'll go away and research it, and I will come back to you with an answer. Or there's a very good chance that I know a practitioner or some sort of person in the field that you're mentioning that I can direct you to. A different human design. I've worked with some amazing people over the last few years, and we are happy to signpost out their individual specific needs. So yeah, that's basically what this series is going to be. Matthew's saying, one teacher actually had a person sit to observe for like a week when I was in year 6, but it was obvious. The woman was only observing me and 2 other kids in the class, so I acted chill. Isn't that strange? This one, you're very good at spotting patterns. If you're ADHD, there's a very good chance that you pick up on these small details. The chance that the other kids might have even questioned that, we don't know. But you've already got that helping you to see that people are treating you different. You also know that people are treating you differently compared to the other kids at school. It's very obvious. Kids can tell that they are not being treated the same, and that goes against their self-worth. Why aren't I being treated the same? Again, it must be that reinforcement. I am the problem. My friend and the other kid didn't, and they get diagnosed with ADD weeks later. ADD. I'd love to know, Matthew, are you from the UK or elsewhere? I haven't seen the term ADD for a little while, but I suppose that's what I would have been diagnosed if I was diagnosed at school. It's interesting that you were, people came to observe you, as it were, in year 6, and it wasn't till later in life that you got a diagnosis. Is that correct? Or have I misunderstood that? Pattern recognition and things not being in the right place. Yeah, we're very specific on how things are. But yeah, I'm messy as heck. You do have great insight, England, yes. Thank you very much. I'm exactly the same. Here's the thing, being clean and having things in a specific way are 2 very different things. I thrive when it's all clean. My brain is so at rest compared to generally in life. But cleaning is not a novelty. It's not fun. My ADHD does not like it. It's one of them, I think about how horrible it is, and then I do it begrudgingly, and I'm like, that wasn't that bad. I should do that again tomorrow, or at least do it small bits every day, like this day, so that it will be a lot easier to. Do I get that into my head? No. 3 days go by and there's a huge load of pot washing next to the sink. Several bags of washing upstairs, which is why I'm doing it in the living room today, not in my new studio. It's I'm just making sure I've got the word. So okay, so that was right. So you were studied that would make me even more angry, that there were professionals there observing you, and still nothing was raised until late 20s, mid 20s. That's mad, right? That means that the people that were put in place to help, yet again, didn't. And this is a common theme, right? I realise I'm doing this with my hands. I'm not in the Illuminati, promise. I have way more viewers right now, I think. What was I saying? ADHD? It'll come back to me, I'm sure. But yeah, things being in the right place. Shout out Lou. I don't know if Lou's watching or will be watching later. She is my sister in just having stuff everywhere, but it's like, it's not like I don't want to clean it, but it's that these things kind of have a place there. And my brain struggles to filter through all the stuff. I'm looking around that room now, looking at all the things that really shouldn't be there. And I have a partner. If you are neurodivergent and you have a partner that doesn't necessarily, they could be neurodivergent or not neurodivergent, but if they are neurodivergent, not in the same way, they like things being super neat. Lindsay, exactly the same way. She likes everything clutter-free, because again, she knows how it benefits her mind and puts that into practice. That's the difference between me and Lindsay. But yeah, if you have a partner that is also liking things in the same way, that can be like, you butt heads, right? Oh, I know what I was saying. The very, very unprofessional. The professionals that are put in place to help you. This is part of the reason that we're here, because I've seen a doctor my whole life for my eczema. Not once did he ask me how it impacts my mental health. I've gone to the doctor about my mental health, and not once have they asked me how it's impacted how I feel about how I look with my eczema. Never once have they asked, really wanted to go deeper than depression. I was given SSRIs, like many, just handed them like they're Smarties, and ultimately that wasn't what I needed, and it made me more ill. For anyone that doesn't know, I have bipolar disorder, ADHD, bipolar, and anxiety. And the SSRIs, these are antidepressants. Sorry if you can hear the cars outside. Antidepressants, they help with a lack of serotonin. And when your body doesn't produce enough serotonin, this little bit of increase helps you come up to everyone else's base level. Um, Unfortunately, that isn't my problem. I create just enough serotonin that I need. My problem is I struggle with dopamine and mood stability. So adding serotonin to that gives me more serotonin than I need. It's basically the same as if I was to take MDMA. Um, and it made me very poorly. It gave me my first manic episode, which led to a diagnosis. So there's kind of a swings and roundabouts thing. But again, there were so many early warning signs throughout my childhood that could have helped, that would have helped me understand my mind better, and my life could have gone so much smoother and better, and I wouldn't have been 29, finally qualifying with my degree. Let's have a look. Saying 90s though, less known about ASD. Yes, definitely. Sorry to change the subject, but what is the grey fluffy doing? grey fluffy thing over your shoulder? It looks like a womble. You get extra points because you reminded me of wombles. I love wombles. We have a hello from someone. Hello, my love. K-Man. Hey, K-Man. This is a Christmas present. How cute. This is Paul. Paul came with some socks. These are some of the socks. But I think this is him. Paul, where's he from? Aldi or Lidl? Apparently there's someone the carrot and Paul the penguin. Is it Paul? Peter the penguin? I've got this wrong. Someone tell me in chat, I've got this wrong. Antidepressants have never worked on me. I assumed it is because my neurons fire off the brain differently, brain chemicals. Yeah, exactly. If you are ADHD, autism, exactly, like these aren't, antidepressants aren't going to help with those disorders. If you are experiencing depression because of a certain other condition like OCD, then of course serotonin may help. But you can also, there's so many ranges of medications that we take for different things, and this idea that just try them on this. For anyone that doesn't know, that is the medical model. And when it comes to working with medical problems and mental health, it's the idea that we first start off treatment with the lowest dose of the most commonly used, weakest medication. And then you go up in milligrams in strength, and then you try the next medication on, depending on how well things are working. This means that it can take a very long time. So if we're planning on going through different antidepressants, and it's I've got bipolar, like I did, I spent years going through, okay, I'll try citalopram. They went up and they didn't work. I'd stopped taking them because I could tell they weren't working. I'd go back to the doctors. I'd say I'd tried that already. They'd try me on something harder, and it was up to sertraline that I'd tried, and that's what made me really poorly. A pool is better than a womble. I don't know. I do love a womble. Wombles are old school. 35 and you know wombles. That's quite cool. You must have parents that love wombles. Speaking of kids' TV, I know this goes way off subject, but again, that's ADHD. I saw that the Cartoon Network website had been taken down. And that made me think, is Cartoon Network not a channel on Sky anymore? Can someone answer that for me? I know that sounds ridiculous, but I used to love Cartoon Network. It was the old school ones, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Ed and Eddie. How hard is that to say? Dexter's Laboratory. God, I love that stuff. Do you want to meet my cat? Do you want a treat? I have a cat called Ziggy. Well, actually, I have two cats. This is Zig. And my other cat is big and round, and he's outside right now, playing in the snow. Shout out if you got snow. Come on. She's not going to get any if she stays down there, because I want you to see them. I have two cats. What are your cats' names? Come on here. Can you see her grabbing? Can you come into the camera a little bit? This plan was to, actually show you off to the camera. Never mind. Does that persuade you enough? Persuade you? Don't bat at me. Can you hear her? I have a black one. Oh. Very nice. Called Cole. Oh, that's lovely. And a Maine Coon called, does that say Harry? A Maine Coon. Oh my God. I saw a gorgeous video the other day of a Maine Coon that was at the side of someone's bath and their tail was just going into it. See if that works. Here. There you go. Down there. She'll come round eventually. I love cats. Maine Coons are gorgeous. They are big cats though, right? What do they eat? Do they eat like way more than the average cat? And black cats, I do have a little bit of a soft spot for. It makes me laugh when people, because the Maine Coon, I imagine, if it wasn't bred by you, it's probably going to be very expensive. And so many people sort of brag about these Maine Coons and Bengals, and they are gorgeous cats. Some of them are beautiful, the different colourings on them. Crazy though. Let's leave that there. They're not in my hand. This is way too distracting. Yeah, and these cats are so expensive. Sorry, I will get back on track. My cat was £25. You can tell she's a feral. But £25. I just think that's very cute. She's cost me much more than that after. What is the chat saying? Yeah, she's a small Maine Coon. And they're both kisses and adorable. Just recently started spraying and fighting. He does eat a bit more, but meat foods and Cole prefers his treats. Is it a black cat thing? This one goes nuts for treats. Normally, she's the most. She's got a lot of personality. She's happy to sit on your knee all the time. Until she knows there's treats in the game, then she's just not into it. Right now, she's just looking at me like I owe her something. Okay. They play fetch. Oh my word. My friend Peggy's cats play fetch. They're so cute. The way they bat these things around and then like pick them up and come to you. My cat will literally just bat it around. Literally anything as well. I've got a little black board rubber for the whiteboard. And she will spend hours just batting it back and forth between her hands. Hey cat, how are you doing? You're beautiful. No, you're beautiful. How are you doing, my love? We're not going to get any skating in this rain. Do you know what I do have, though, Kat? I have your Christmas presents here. I was going to go and get them, but I've had enough time wasting on the screen with the cat. I have no idea how long I've been alive for, by the way. I'm just talking. The planned time for these streams, there isn't really one. I'm aiming for an hour so that you guys can come and ask questions and you've got that time. But realistically, if I don't have any appointments or anything straight after, this could go as long as possible. Oh, good, my little cat's saying. I know the rain sucks. Come for a tea. Do you know what? I will come for a tea. After this, I'm going to come for a tea, Cat. Is that okay with you? If anyone else wants to invite me for a tea as well, absolutely oblige. Something about this cold weather. I really, really love a coffee, a tea, a hot chocolate. I'm just thinking about it now. You start adding all the extra stuff like the whipped cream and the marshmallows. Of course, Kat says. Thank you very much. I'm very close with just to be clear, Kat is my very good friend and hype girl of A Different Human Design. If you go onto our channel, there are plenty of footage of Kat. I want to say our 4th episode is talking to Kat. She is an absolute superhero. She is an incredible mother of 4 beautiful children, all ranging in different neurodivergent needs. And she's a spectacular mum. Someone I would strongly recommend you going to that episode and watching if you ever want any reassurance or better understanding of what a parenting of a non-verbal autistic child can be like. Oh, beautiful airs. How is it? It is for 4th episode. I got that right. I don't remember anything correctly, and I know that's the 4th episode. I hope all your kiddies have been having fun this Christmas, Cat. Matt, sorry. Matthew says, sorry I derailed you with Wombles and became penguin, and that became cats, and literally cat ownership in a nutshell. Matthew, you are not the first, nor will you be the last to derail me. That is literally how I get through life. It's really strange. I promise in a counselling session, I'm a lot more focused, I'm a lot more in. But there's something about, like, you've got to remember, other than this cat that's just staring at me for treats, there is no one else here. It's very strange, normally having Lindy to like bounce off of. And I realised how often during the normal podcast that I would sit and listen to Lindsay and be like, I'm really glad that I don't have to be talking right now. Which is really strange. So doing this lunchtime clinic may seem a little bit rocky at the start. I was really worried that nobody would turn up, and I was like, if I just advertise it early enough, get the promo out there, then more people will turn up, and it'll be fine, and it won't be as embarrassing. And then it was like subconsciously, I was like, if I put the advert out there and still no one turns up, I'm gonna feel it's gonna be so difficult, like seeing the numbers and that. And I'm trying not to like look at it anyway. Um, so what is that? Why did I do that? Why did I self-sabotage my own live stream? I mean, there's many reasons, but let's try a therapeutic method. Let's try the so what method. If anyone's done CBT, then you've probably seen this. If you've tried any self-help books of CBT, then you probably know this as well. But the so what method, it's a good way of us understanding our core beliefs. And they are often very deep and a little suppressed, and they're subconscious. So to be able to understand them is kind of this downward processing of so what. We go through these statements of these beliefs and we say, okay, let's say they're real. So what? What does that mean? So my fear, nobody will show up. So what? What does that mean? What does it mean if nobody shows up? What would that mean? Well, that would mean I'm not going to make any money. I'm not going to be able to help people. I'm not interesting. I feel pretty boring if no one could click onto this. Do you know what I mean? It's okay. So what? Let's say I am really boring. Let's say I'm not interesting enough. What does that mean? That means nobody will want to come to me for help. Okay. I believe that if I'm not interesting, if I'm not enough, people won't want my help. Getting a little bit deeper. So what does that mean? Let's say that's true. Nobody wants to come to me for help. What does that mean? I think that means I'm a little... It's hard to say. I think it makes me feel a little bit worthless. That would mean if no one wanted to come to me for help, that would be worthless. I would be worthless. And there's that core belief. And that's the kind of thing that you want to change, that I want to change. Because a core belief is not a fact. That is just something for you to work on. And now I've identified it, something that, okay, let's question it. How worthless really am I? Well, I've got a lovely friend that just entered this chat and offered me to come for a cup of tea. Doesn't seem like a worthless person to me. So on top of that, the lovely Matthew Hall has been in the chat since the start, chatting away to me. That doesn't seem like I'm very worthless. This is not the first series that I'm starting on this channel. We've done this podcast now for 2 years almost, in February, and people have been watching. Like, we're not Mr. Beast, we're not Joe Rogan, but considering we are nobodies, people have been watching, and people regularly want to come on the podcast. So there's another bit of evidence against me being worthless, and I can keep doing that. And if you've never seen this technique before, I strongly recommend it. It's something you can do with yourself. And you're always working to get down to that I'm statement, that I'm worthless, I'm unlovable, I'm useless, I'm horrible. These are the core beliefs that we want to challenge. So what are we saying? Lunchtime clinic is a great idea and you're doing great. Oh, thank you so much. Lindsay will be proud for sure. I hope so. I hope you are, Lindsay. Lindsay last year did the Lindsay Illuminates It series. Once a month she uploaded a 10-minute little educational pack about different parts of life that she really wished that she could teach in the classroom, um, and just isn't able to. Too much red tape. So they're very good. They're awesome. It's a series that you can locate on this channel if you go down to the Lindsay Illuminates It playlist. They're just 10 minutes each, and they're fantastic, very insightful, and a lot more well put together. She doesn't go off on a tangent like me. Matthew says, how did you get much snow, and how do your cats react to it? Mine are indoor cats, but they definitely freak out more than over snow than fireworks. They watch fireworks. So my big cat, he's outdoors right now. Oh, he's just arrived. I can let him in. Let's have a look. Hello, mate. He's a bit wet because he's been playing in the snow. He loves it. My girl is not an indoor cat. She thinks she's sneaking treats. I put them there for her. He loves it. She will not go outside. She's not allowed outside. Fireworks, because he's outside, when he's inside, he's a little more like when they happen. She doesn't even realize they happen. She has a whole bubble around her life that nothing, if anything does dare enter her bubble, we all know about it. It would mean you do the recording and it can still be there for when someone does it. That's a very good point. Yeah, even if someone's not joining live, Matthew's saying that, the VOD will still be there for people to access it and to get help from it, 100%. Even if you don't know it or never know it, the possibility either there or not. Agreed. Matthew Hall, always better that the help is there and not used. I'm struggling to read that, sorry. Better that the help be there and not used. Yeah, totally. Not used and not be. Yeah, definitely, 100%. K-Man, do you give romance advice? In terms of romance advice, I don't know how good I'll be with romance. Relationship advice, 100%. Advice on how you can come across on a date, your own personal development, 100% I can help with. I've been on 5 dates, they're saying, and at the end of the night, I always get the cheek. Am I stuck in the friend zone? Okay, so after the first night, you're getting the cheek. Obviously, I need to know a little bit more detail about what's happening in these dates. But I know for me, I like that idea of letting them want more, right? And again, I've been in a relationship now for the last 9 years. But if I was to be single again, as a woman, you're taught, right, to not give it all up on the first go. And I think a woman pretends, not to pretend, she protects herself. Even if she really likes you, those first few dates, maybe just the first date, she could easily give you that coy, like, let me just see if you even reply to me after this date. Let me see if you're even interested in me. Because the chance that girl has already been on dates, gone more than the cheek, maybe she's kissed, maybe she's gone a little bit further, and the guy hasn't respected that and hasn't got back to her. It can be a little bit disheartening, right? And you're taught, okay, don't give away your energy. So providing that the rest of the date has been, nice, perfect, you've been respectful, you have showed her compliments, that she has seemed interested in you, that she's asked you questions. Has she asked to see you again? Has she asked to talk after the date? These are things to work out if you're in the friend zone. Another way to work out if you're in the friend zone is to ask. It seems like a really scary thing to do. And we're taught so many like games and, oh, you can do this to find out if she's into you, bro. And the real thing is communication from the get-go. If you're able to, if you've had a few dates, can I say that I am starting to actually get really good feelings for you? Can I get a heads up on where you're at so I know where I can possibly direct my energy? There's plenty of ways that you can say it in your own way. But yeah, communication. Kat's saying communication is key. She knows. How long have you been with Kyle, Kat? There is not a single sentence that these two think that don't get said to each other. There's no gap for working out anyone's hints or like throwing out cues. Like if they want something from each other, they'll ask each other, hey, can you help me with this? Yeah, I can do that. Hey, I'm not sure about this. Is this? Yeah, that's that. Or no, that's not that. And 20 years. Shout out. Hey, Goose. He's a bit wet, but this is Goose. He's a big polar bear. A big panda bear. On you, mate. And he's a lot cuddlier. It's been lovely chatting to you too, Matthew. Get ready to go do your stuff. Subscribed and liked. I appreciate you very much, my dude. It's been lovely chatting. Thank you for being here. I hope you return. We'll be back Wednesday at 12 again. Off you go then, mate. You and Goose can go together. Goose is the cat, by the way. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. In all fairness, Matthew's about on time. Now that I've introduced the series to you, Mondays and Wednesdays, 12 midday, I'm going to be here every week until I get sick of it. No, seriously, I'm really enjoying this, and the possibilities are endless that we can do. It won't always be on my phone. I thought for the first episode we'd get the impressions up, get the algorithm going, and eventually we'll be in the studio and we'll be able to have some of you join live to ask us questions live. We can talk in person. If you want any information about us, our website is in the description below, differenthumandesign.co.uk. There is a ton of resources that you can download, that you can look through. I think a lot of our guides, our packs are 90 something p, 99p, which is insane. If you are struggling financially and would even for the 99p, please get in touch. There may be something that we can do. K-Man, let's finish off. The dates always go well, but I text her daily and always text her about my day. And how often are you getting replies? Let's figure this out. Before I go, he's a handsome chap, Goose. He really is a handsome chap. He's very sweet. We compare him to Lenny from Of Mice and Men because he's just so big and so lovable, but he causes a lot of damage that he doesn't need to cause. Yeah, K-Man, I want to know more about this. The dates always go well, but I text her daily and I always text about my day. Are you asking her about her day? She always replies within 2 minutes. That's pretty nice. Yeah, are you asking her about her day? Or are you just saying about yours? Messages are flowing. I like it. It's hard when we're dating, right? It's hard to work out, like, it's a minefield. Like, are they talking to someone else? Am I enough? And if you've got these core beliefs that are a little bit, that need to be challenged, that aren't true, then it can be even more difficult to navigate it. Okay, Cayman, it sounds like you're having a normal, good relationship and it's going somewhere. If you feel that you can respectfully ask her where you both stand, if you can tell her where you stand and ask her respectively where she is, I think you're in all right to do that. If you've been talking for a while, ask her, where are we at? There's no point trying to dissect some message that could just be decoded by asking her. Worried about coming over too needy. Should I rein it in? I mean, when she's replying, is she matching your energy? Is she just giving you a few sentences? It can be very hard to judge, right? But again, having that ability to just communicate, and it doesn't have to be, oh my God, I'm really into you, and sometimes you don't reply quick enough, or sometimes I worry that we're not going to be together. Just a simple, can I ask how you feel about me? Or put your feelings first. I'm really enjoying talking to you, and I think we should get to know each other a lot better. Maybe go to the next stage. How do you feel about that? She gives good energy. Right, Cayman. There you go. That's all you need. That's your challenge for today. I think just by judging what you've said, and again, I'm only reading your typed out messages. I can't see your face. I can't hear the tone of your voice. It seems like you are an overthinker. You think a lot about the steps that you can take, about the moves that you make. There's a song in there somewhere. And I think it would go a long way for you to get rid of all that thinking. I think too much thinking can get in the way of the doing. And you end up doing this rumination and catastrophizing, and nothing's happened yet. You're just talking. So he's asking, should I wait for her to text me back? Should I wait for her to text first? You could do that. But that's a bit of a game. Again, you can't understand her perspective. If she was someone that isn't giving you the time of day and you're trying to test, am I worth it? Then it could be worth the test. However, if this is a girl that has had a past of dating, her history just hasn't been good. She's been treated disrespectfully. She's had people come on too strong. Because that's the thing about ADHD is we feel quick and we feel hard. And a problem with that is we can open ourselves up to not seeing red flags, the love bombing, like these core things that narcissists use basically to really get in there. And my advice to anyone that starts seeing someone and it starts going very quickly, like, oh, I love you should not be said for 3 months. And I know that seems like a bit of a blanket statement, and I know there's plenty of relationships that have lasted 50, 60, 70 years when they said I love you on the first night and got married in the first week. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm saying that for the ADHD brain and for people who their attachment style is very different. They have this a very insecure attachment style. Stay away from the fast feelings and the fast thinking and playing games and I need to do this to win her over. Like, just too much. Identify. I'm worried that she will respond in a way that makes me seem needy, or I'm worried that I will come across needy to her. If you are just being your authentic self, if you are being respectful, and you are just asking a clear question, you're doing nothing wrong. Her last partner was bad to her. There you go. I think you're operating on a playing field that already has a lot of history. If he was bad, then there's a good chance that he was playing games and doing silly tests to try and figure out rather than just communicating. So yeah, the fact you're here asking for advice about this lovely woman shows that you care, that you respect her, and that you want to do right by her. So, yeah, go and talk to her. Be respectful, great advice. Thank you very much. And then come back. See what she says. If you want any more help, please get in touch or comment below. Anyone else wanting advice themselves, you know what to do. Get in the comments. We'll be back on Wednesday at 12 p.m. In the meantime, Liz says hello. Hey, Liz. Hello, chicken. Unfortunately, I'm just going, but check the VOD, watch it back. Can you hear my cat running around? Right, it's all going nuts. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely Tuesday. I'll be back Wednesday. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been really fun. And yeah, Wednesdays and Mondays. That's our time. See you later.